If somebody gives you a call 4 years and a day and says, my paint is failing, can you come on out? Are you going to be like, absolutely not? It's been 4 years. Call
We're not
somebody
going
else.
to be like that. It's all.
Nick Goebel, one of the founders of the Ohio Painting Company, aboard the Ohio Painting Company podcast. What's happening?
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
I'm doing good. We were talking this
Where are you
past
today?
Sunday.
Are you in Arizona now?
Yeah, my oceanfront property in Arizona. I think George Strait wrote a song about that once.
Good. We should keep these podcasts up so we can keep sending it out to these awesome places.
You should see the mortgage on this place. So warranties, you said you got the thought in your head this past Sunday about warranties and how they work because we did bring it up very briefly in a past podcast and we didn't expand on it at all. And you made a really good point about how big the warranty is with the Ohio Painting Company. So, I mean, a warranty on a paint job, several significant benefits. It ensures peace of mind, long-term satisfaction. So I want to talk about key advantages for the customers of the Ohio Painting Company. You know, when they call you guys out to get to the house and get started, all of the estimations are done. They say, let's do it. You get done. What's kind of at the bottom of the sheet when you say, all right, if something goes wrong, we're right back at it?
Well, I am from the top of what you're just saying. Yeah, I mean, on Sunday, they're just saying, they call it unconscious competence. It's just like things that you know, things that you say, things that we offer. We just blew right past it. And then you took a
Yeah.
sound bite from it, and I'm like, it's on there. Not every company offers it, but like, what in the world is a warranty, and what goes into it, and is it just a made up number? And we spend hours upon hours talking about culture in our company, culture and values, and how to implement them, systematically through our organization and amongst our guys and everything else. And so it's funny what wintertime will do when you're slow and idle hands are devil's playground. Well, we try not to be idle to the point where we overthink everything, but it's got great benefits and a lot of productivity comes out of it and good ideas. But our competitor's warranty is a 2-year workmanship warranty. Um, Ours is a 4-year workmanship warranty.
Now, what does that mean?
Um,
Workmanship. What does that mean?
um, so you remove yourself from the variables of what can go wrong with the paint itself. And so it is a tandem. You have to have a relationship with Sherwin-Williams or PPG and not just the store because there's a phone number that anybody can call in the back of the bucket. You really need to have trust built with the extremities of those companies. So sales reps, the stores themselves, track record history. So there's a bucket warranty on anything. You can go, let's say you go to Lowe's or Home Depot and you buy a gallon of Bear. Anybody can call that phone number. They can put a 20-year warranty on their paint. And then they have a 3-page list of disqualifiers for what that warranty is. And then it removes themselves from a lot of liability, misuse, mispriming. Microscopically, they'll pull off a paint chip and look at the back of the previous coating and see what kind of prep work was done on the job beforehand. So they're looking at foundational issues and prior to the paint even being put on because paints as they dry, they tighten up and they do a bunch of funky things. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just it's not just a magic sauce that you put on something and everything goes perfectly well. You have to know what your foundation is, how it's been treated previously, and there's a lot of gray area. So you buy a Bear, you use Bear, you have an issue, you're going to call 1-800 number to their national sales organization, and that national sales rep or whatever is going to point you in the direction of somewhere else.
You really detailed a lot of forensic analysis I didn't know was part of
It's
this
huge.
industry. I had no idea that you guys would go that deep. I guess that's just another part of my brain that thought that you just took a roller, dipped it in a bucket, and slathered it on the wall. So I mean, I was way wrong on that. Looking at my history with warranties, I mean, before we jumped on, you were talking about computers, you were talking about maybe televisions, things like that. You get them up to the counter, you're so excited. I'm upgrading from my 65-inch to the first ever 85-inch TV, and I'm just jacked up about it in there.
Is that an actuality? Are you doing that?
No, no, not yet. We're still stuck at 65.
Yeah.
The 4K smart TV, we got that one till it breaks. Um, but I've seen the 85-inch TV, and it's wonderful.
Oh, I
But
know. I've seen it too.
yeah. When you're at the counter, they always ask you, hey, you want the protection plan on this? Do you want the extended warranty? And I mean, my brain automatically just no. I want to go home. I want to get this thing acclimated to the room, take it out of the box, and start watching what I want to watch and not worry about anything else. And I think that's my peace of mind is the fact that once I plug it in, it works. But if you just disregard that stuff, then you're kind of up the creek a little bit
Yeah.
when it comes to things working. And I mean, I've said no a bunch to people,
I know.
gaming systems.
Yeah,
Um, you know,
I can be pretty frugal. I mean, like when you start up a business, like yeah, and you're right there in those shoes. Like, what is bare essential? What do you absolutely need? And how important is it to you if it goes bad the next year or two? And it always seems like, yeah, it's like, do you really go there? And then it takes a couple. Most stuff, if it goes wrong, you can live with it. But if it's an 85-inch TV, yeah,
mhm,
you're gonna be pretty upset when that thing frizzles out after a year,
yeah.
and you didn't get that extended warranty on it.
Yeah, I did it actually because I buy quite a bit of my equipment off of Amazon, and it's kind of gimmicky stuff. It's not like it says Sony or Panasonic or the big name brands, but they're brands that I'm comfortable with. They are a decent value, but it still asks me if I want extended warranties, and I typically do get those for those particular types of electronics because I try to get it into my brain, even though it's the money that I'm making, it's still the company that's paying for it. So I kind of I go down that road with my equipment. But if it's for everybody else in the house, I typically say no.
Yeah,
It,
I know.
I
I'm
don't
I'm
need
with
two
you.
years. So
But I mean, I have learned to apply to the things that matter. And the warranty is, as I was thinking about it on Sunday, I'm like, these guys offer 2 year, we offer a 4 year. I mean, what the heck? It's paint. Is like, we want to blame when things go wrong. There's got to be somebody to blame, right? So
yeah.
like, yeah, you want to blame the paint, bad whatever. At the end of 4 years, it's not like the paint that we apply on your house is going to decide to fall off and like, hey, we're out of warranty and we got you. No, I mean, like, paint should, and I explain this, it's probably a bad analogy. It was just one that came to me one time, but it's like the sole of your shoe is stuck to your shoe. If it's properly adhered, it's going to wear away. It's
Hmm.
going to wear away over time. Whether you're an outside walker, outside foot walker, heel walker, it's going to wear away in those areas that get the higher abrasion, but the inside of the sole still might be perfectly fine. A shoe's really not bad unless the glue or the adhesives they use to attach the sole fall off, and now you got a floppy shoe. That's a failed
Hmm.
shoe. So that is generally paint is going to wear the same way, especially outside. Inside, not as much. You can get stain resistance and stuff like that. Doesn't necessarily wear away that much inside. It does where kids put their hands and stuff like that, and physically, over time, there's a cumulative effect where that can build up, and hopefully, you're using a paint that is not just wipeable but stain resistant. Stain resistance is a big key. Um, but yeah, so the paint's not going to fall after 4 years. It's not going to fall after 2 years. So what does that number mean? It's like, okay, you just make up this number. No, I mean, really, it's just kind of a metric of confidence. I've told customers if something goes wrong with your paint after 6 years, please call us.
Hmm.
We're real people. We're local people. If we're not unrealistic, on the few callbacks that we've had, we take care of it. And a couple have been, after 6+ years, like, hey, can you come out here and take a look at this? Think we have an issue? Absolutely, we'll come out there. And sometimes, most of the time it's like a $200 fix, and
Hmm.
we're not going to charge them $200 for that. I mean, we did painted the house for 20 grand, and let's just take care of this little bit to get them through until their next maintenance painting, which is typically going to be 10 to 12 years on a typical paint job. um,
But the confidence metric is how many, how long do you want to leave yourself on the line for? Um, how many customers are you going through, and how confident are you on your guys and delivering what you're telling the customer that you're going to deliver, and all those things. So all those variables, we're on the hook for 4 years. Something goes wrong in your house, a workmanship guarantee covers the work and the know-how and everything that goes behind it. Because at the end of the day, if you hire us for painting and our job costs $10, that would be the cheapest job we've ever done. But for
Hmm.
simple math, that job costs $10. $2 goes towards paint. $8 goes towards our insurance, our overhead, our guys, our marketing, everything. It's like that is, that's the metric. So chasing a bucket warranty, again, if we cover the labor, we're covering 80% of what's going on. And then we lean into our relationship with Sherwin-Williams or PPG to gather that other 20% that's missing out of the equation to get your project back on track or done right. And, like I said, what can go wrong will go wrong. We try to get out in front of everything. But again, we've had very few callbacks. So, you blend all those things together, and how confident are we that we can stand behind everything that we do, and how our guys deliver it, and the paints that we use. And so, yeah, we're like, yeah, 4 years comprehensively. And then outside of that, again, you can always give us a call.
Has that, I mean, that's automatic, right? When people call you out and
Oh,
hire
yeah.
you to do the job, I mean,
Yep.
that is added on. I mean, has there ever been anybody that's like, kind of skeptical about it? Be like, no, 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 I don't want any type of extra warranty. I mean, I don't want you guys to bleed me dry on this thing.
Yeah. Um, you know, it's funny that it hasn't come up actually, because I mean, we
Great.
we have a lot of conversations, but I mean, like here, a system is a system, and there's deviations from the system, but overall, hopefully you're capturing 95% of what you do from job to job, and that 5% are the variables that you can't control. It's funny that that hasn't come up though. We don't charge anymore for a warranty. It's not like, you go to the Best Buy, they're going, if you want an extended warranty, you're going to pay for it there. Costco is great because you don't have to buy an extended warranty. They just cover it very much like we do. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not going to save somebody money one way or another. A long time ago, we made the decision that we just were not going to do jobs. So it's not an inclusion of ethics. It's because there's a market for everything. You call property management painting. We do a lot of commercial, but we don't do property management. Those are our apartment turnovers, and they are literally replacing the floor, maybe upgrading the cabinets, so you can get paint on everything. And so they'll set somebody loose in there for a couple $100 and spray everything out, including window frames and everything else. Like you should
Yeah.
just see some of these places, right? So they're literally just putting paint on everywhere, and that's how do you train a guy to do that, and then to come and to go into a house that might be 600,000 plus half a million, um, and have them execute on a level of detail and scrutiny, and deliver, not just deliver a completed job, because on the metric of is it done or is it not, I mean, I always say perfection is not, you can't delegate perfection, but you can delegate excellence. And perfection is not attainable, but excellence is. And there's, everybody's metric on that is a little different. Your eyes on a project are going to go to a different place than somebody else's. And you might be best buddies, but you and your best buddy look at different things. And so completion of the project differs by, that 5%. And we're always going to dial into that. What is, you're paying us to do this. We can't treat your whole house like a Lamborghini, but we can treat your entryway like a Lamborghini. We can treat the rest like, like a Ford. Um, you know, never like a used car from like a Pinto, like that's the, so anyhow, there's projects we say yes to, there's projects we say no to, and it's just by way of, what are we good at? So that 4 year warranty is going to come with, any job that we quote, because we've already told ourselves a long time ago, we're going to stay away from these jobs. Well, look at them and try to talk to a person about doing it right, and you'll find that out. If you ever call and have us out, we're really not going to cut corners or anything else like that. We're going to try to talk you not into more money, because again, I'm a frugal guy. It's not about the money. It's about the job and what we want to put out into the world, and how are we going to professionalize the paint industry from two drunks in a truck, and that's, hold ourselves accountable, even when things go wrong. So again, it's out there, and a lot of people don't even realize that we offer it, because it is at the bottom of our quote. It's,
Right.
we offer a 4-year workmanship guarantee. There's a lot of other stuff they don't ask us about at the bottom too, and most of it is good news to them that they didn't know that they had. Sometimes, sometimes it's, we collect 50%, or, our payment policy. Like, everybody seems to be surprised by our payment policy and the process of collection there. Not everybody, but it comes up a lot less now than it did 5 years ago, before we started broadcasting that and kind of informing our customers before we got out. But yeah, anyhow. Um, Really, yeah, I could talk about warranties way too much, because again, I think it just rolls into the passion of what we do, and that we're confident in what we deliver, and
Hmm.
we want to grow our customer base, and get people's minds out of, to Bob, he might not care about paint, but he cares about his lawn. For Bob, he should hire anybody that he has confidence in to do the very bare minimum, and then he'll pay more for his lawn care guy.
Right.
Um, Maybe we're not for Bob, but might be for Brett. Well,
Yeah, maybe.
but anyhow, um, yeah, man. So that I kind of talked myself into a wall
No,
at a
it's all
certain
good.
point.
I mean, I want to know when you started to come up with it. I mean, when you were a young company, I mean, were you able to offer stuff like this before you were able to grow to where you are now?
Boy, we certainly tried. Uh, we're very much All of us are very much people pleasers, and we're not necessarily looking for validation, so to speak. I mean, I think anybody that's anything for anything is looking for some sort of validation. But when you talk about what you want to put out into the world, you want it to be something that you stand on. So for us, we didn't really know warranties were a thing. We didn't really pay attention to it. We would try our best, and then we'd always make ourselves available. And really, that 4-year warranty now is just an evolution of our mindset going behind everything that we do. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess it's always been there. It's just never been verbalized. But you get to a certain point where you're exposed to more customers, and more people that have had bad experiences with paint companies, or contractors, or really anybody in general. I mean, business is transactional. Um, that's the binary, kind of the ugly side of things. I wish we could do things for free, and we could just beautify the world,
Right.
for free. But I still got to eat. My kids got to go to school. I need to
And
take a
eat.
mental need to take a mental vacation every once in a while.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and but anyhow, it's just an evolution of where we've always been, where our heart's been, and our mindset, and what we want to deliver, which is excellence.
OhioPainting.com, tons of resources over there to get you in the know about how the Ohio Painting Company operates. And, I want to, and this is always a scary thing when you're talking about warranties, because my buddy just went through this and he bought very, very expensive brakes for his SUV. And,
Uh-huh.
he's the performance parts guy. He's got
Oh
the,
yeah, I love those guys.
oh, yeah. So, he buys these brakes, they're $5,700 or something like that for the whole thing, and you get a 2-year warranty, and it expired in September, and they went out on the 1st of October. So I'm gonna doubt, and if I'm crossing the line here, let me know. I don't know how strict you are on this 4-year thing. If somebody gives you a call 4 years and a day and says my paint is failing, can you come on out? Are you going to be like, absolutely not? It's been 4 years. Call
We're not
somebody
going to
else.
be like that. It's all. It's all. it's all legality thing. And again, if we go back 10 years, we didn't even apply a warranty. We weren't really even aware of it. Just as we've grown and our exposure to a new customer base and just new customers in general in Cincinnati and Dayton, even Columbus now, you put it out there so they feel good. But honestly, I will encourage anybody. I mean, if it's been 6 years, like, could we legally get out of it? Yeah, absolutely. But again, I think it speaks more to the culture and the intention of a company that's willing to offer something lengthier like that. Is that we're never done. We're never done with it. If it shouldn't fit, if it doesn't fail after 4 years, it honestly shouldn't fail after 6 years either.
Right.
And I think a lot of people base their 2 year thing on if it hasn't gone wrong in 2 years, then nothing's wrong with it. But guess what? In Ohio, we've talked about temperatures, weather, and temperatures happen, and everything else. And so you can use a subpar caulking, you can use a subpar everything, and you might not have failure all over, but you'll have it on maybe pretty badly on one side of the house. And then you can go back to the beginning and just use better products or better prep and get out in front of that. So no, if anything goes wrong, even after the 4 years, please call us, have us out. It's already free to have us out and give you an estimate and an inspection anyways. If you're already a customer of ours, then boy, yeah, we want to do everything we can to keep you happy and singing our good praises. So give us a call and we'll make sure that we look at it for sure. Or if not, take care of it.
There it is. That's Nick Goebel, one of the founders of the Ohio Painting Company. Like I said just a couple minutes ago, visit ohiopainting.com and you'll find all sorts of information about how you can get the process started. And you can find information about how you can get some financing as well through WiseTac, 12-month, 0% financing on your paint. So all good stuff all around Nick. Next week, we're going to be talking about repeat customers. And I think Kevin is going to be on site at a repeat customer. So that's going to be interesting, and I can't wait for it. But until then, we'll be talking, and we'll see you next week.
Rock and roll. Thanks, bud. See ya.